It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. StoryTrading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing? We got a special event here. We're going to be interviewing Rich X Million on RIBT. Just a minute. First, we're going to go through a couple of slides. It looks like we're having a little bit of internet connectivity issues this morning, so we apologize if a break comes in or out. Just bear with us. First, quick disclaimer, StoryTrading is not an investment advisor. That goes for all of our guests, including Rich X Million. And investing in securities involves significant risk of loss. For those of you not familiar with StoryTrading, I'm going to give you a little background first before we dive into RIBT. So what we try to do with StoryTrading is to make sense of markets, to understand the story behind the trade. And we do that based on these 4 pillars. We call them sentiment, catalysts, fundamentals, and technicals. And the idea is that all price action can be explained by data on these 4 pillars. There's basically an identifiable and logical reason behind all price action, and we seek to find all those reasons to give us a better understanding of the charts. Just a few quick examples. Here's SMSI, very popular stock in our community, and you can see when we do the research on SMSI, we can identify what causes it to go up, what causes it to go down. We did that with crowdsourced research and social collaboration. We did that with VTSI, very detailed information, basically almost explaining each tick. And the star of the show, AIR, last summer, this is a quick chart. I went and looked at this. I'm like, well, why did the stock spike and come back down? We found the reason why it happened. That enabled me to identify the catalyst, which turned around, put that reason on its head. That ended up becoming a 10-bagger for us. I held it the entire way from 250 to 25 in 4 months. And then we used the 4 pillars to time our exit in the 20s. So the question is, can RIBT be next? Quick little explanation of why we're even looking into this and why we invited Rich X Million to come on. First, this is what we call a new FANG stock that we started focusing on after the Russia-Ukraine war. What's a new FANG stock? FAANG, and this falls into the sentiment category. That's stocks in the fuels, agriculture, aerospace, nuclear, or golden minerals because of the geopolitical situation, not just with the war, but also with what's going on with China and lockdowns. So that's why we took some interest in this. Plus, the fundamentals appear strong, technicals appear strong. I'm not an expert in any one of these areas. I look at things high level. Catalysts, I'm not so sure. We're going to find out from Rich X Million. So with that, we're going to invite Rich on. It's RIBT, market cap 38 million, last trade 75 cents. Rich, are you there? So while we're waiting for him, he had a little bit of audio difficulty. Rich, can you hear me? So this is the chart, by the way, that we're going to be looking at. And through the interview with Rich, we're going to try to come to an understanding of what caused the stock to go up and down. Again, based on our 4 pillars of sentiment, catalysts, fundamentals, and technicals. I'm going to bring Rich on here. Rich, you there? Rich. Rich, you're on air. You can get your audio to work. All right, sorry. Just hang on 1 second here, guys. I'm going to try switching my internet real quick. Rich, if you get booted, come right back. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Okay. Rich, are you there? So just check my Twitter here. Okay. Looks like he is trying to put you on speakerphone. Maybe I'll do that. All right. Let's call him. He's having some technical difficulties. So improvising here. Good idea, Rich. Here we go.
Hey, Ben. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Hopefully.
I'm going to mute my audio on the stream and just talk to you over the phone, okay?
All right, we'll do that. Hopefully everyone out there in the audience can hear Rich. So Rich, why don't you give us an overview first of why you're interested in this stock, and then I'd love to dive into the details on the 4 pillars.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I came across this stock. My buddy told me about it. First things first, I went to finviz.com. I checked out the share structure. I like the share structure. And I was like, hey, this is pretty interesting. Now, you know, one of the things that's made me a lot of money in the market is that I'm not the best trader, but I tend to find the trends before the market before the most of the market finds it, right? So it was food. I knew, hey, the war started in Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan. They grow like 40% of the world's wheat. They grow corn, they grow rice, sunflowers, all that stuff, right? The sanctions started coming in, hitting the Eastern Europe, and if war's going on, food isn't being planted. And I was like, okay, long story short, food prices are going to go high. Now, when the COVID stuff happened, stocks that had masks and gloves, even if they weren't profitable, man, these stocks went hundreds of percent higher, over a few days, a few weeks. And that's how I found RIBT. That's what made me choose this stock, the initial interest in it. And as I started looking more and more into it, I was like, holy moly, the stock is unreal. Now, I found this stock, my average was around 50. I was like, man, this is just unreal. I went through the share structure. I was like, hey, there's no notes, there's no toxic dilution. Like, this stock is so clean. And then I started looking into Grain Continental, right? And that's what really sold me on it. Like, hey, if these big boys are interested in the stock, then I'm interested in it, And, yeah, that's the gist of it. And, yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, great. Thank you for that overview. I actually have a chart up on the screen as you're talking. What we like to do is fill in some of the facts that explain the chart history. So I tried to jab at it before you came on, but hopefully you can fill in the dots, and we can see there the pop when the war began, the stock started going up. And then we had the Q4 report where the company acknowledged that there is a war tailwind. So I'd like to begin by talking about the fundamentals, what you can tell us about maybe revenue, earnings, their runway. One of the things that always concern me with micro cap stocks is surprise offerings, right? Especially if it's like death spiral financing or something with a lot of warrants. So can you give us your perspective both on the fundamentals and then the share structure and the chances of maybe an offering at a inopportune time?
Well, in my opinion, just my opinion, nobody can predict the future. I don't think we're going to see an offering on this stock, okay? So I bought this stock before the Q1 2022, numbers were released. So this company's Q1 2022 revenues compared to Q1 2021 revenues are up 22%. They're doing over $10 million and a couple of $100,000. I think it's $10.22 million for the first 3 months. And before I go heavy in a stock, not before, or if I'm in it, say I'm going to flip it, I like to contact customer service. I like to see how it is. Hey, is this even a legit company? Hey, this whole thing could be a scam. A lot of companies are, So I did my research. I like what I saw. Now let me tell you why there's not going to be a offering done. Okay.
Just hold on for clarity 1 second. So people looking at my screen on this candle here where it says Continental Grain leaves the board, that's the same day as the Q1 earnings report, just so people have context. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll go over that. So if you read the last PR, sir, I'm going to pull it up. The company just made, I believe, a $500,000 investment to upgrade their grain silos, to increase their capacity and stuff like that. If they needed money, they would have diluted ahead of time. They would have done an offering. So these guys' revenues are going up, and they're upgrading their, say, part of their factory without doing an offering. So for that reason, I feel they're not going to do an offering in the future.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. We have the PR up on the screen. It says their MGI facility. Looks like they're doubling the cap. Yeah, there we go. Double the capacity of the MGI facility. And yeah, I think that was right. 500K investment.
Yep. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Somewhere in here. I can't find the 500K number, but I did see it earlier.
Hold on. I'm not using your, I'm gonna pull up my Twitter and actually see what you're seeing. I'm gonna go to the YouTube stream because I didn't want there to be an echo. I was a little blind. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. Beautiful. Now I can see your beautiful face.
That was that was May 18th. I got the PR up there May 18th, and I think we put it on the chart here too. There it is. Doubles plant capacity, and in there, which I was really looking for, they acknowledged that there's a tailwind from the geopolitical situation, and that's when you saw that big green candle just a few days ago, start May 18th.
Yeah. So let me give you a little funny story, man. I see so much potential in the stock, so I'm trying to get in touch with management, calling their customer service. I started calling Grain Continental. It's like, hey, why are you guys selling? The stock's going to go through the roof. The fundamentals are really good. The Q1 is good. And then through my research, I learned that, should we go over why Grain Continental is selling shares in the...
Yeah, let's just look at that. You can see on the chart here, Continental Grain, which sits on the board, they started selling shares here on this March 25th, that red candle, and they had 10 million shares at the time, and they keep on selling. They're down to 2.5 million or 3.5 million as of last night. And the average person out there will look at that and say, "Damn, that looks scary. I'm staying away." So, what did you find out about why Continental Grain may be selling?
Yes, sir, Ben. If you could just open up a link I sent you, all the viewers will be able to see this as well. I want people to understand that this is not dilution, which is taking place. A lot of people are saying it's dilution. It's not dilution. Grain Continental started buying this company on the open market in 2018, okay? These guys paid a price for this stock anywhere from $1.50 all the way up $3.31, $3.24 I'm seeing. So I sent you a link. If you click on it, it tells you all their buys that they've done for a few years. Now, the reason they started selling is, now I learned about this recently, so, I don't know everything about this. So Grain Continental is a multi-billion-dollar company. It's a private company. They have some websites is saying in 2011 they had $14 billion in revenue. They say they have anywhere from $1 billion to $5 billion in revenue in some of the websites. Because it's a private company, we don't know exactly what this is. So it's form of a fund in the agriculture business. I mean, they own land. From what I understand, they own train tracks, they own trains, they own processing factories, they own the whole chain, what it takes from food to go from point A to point Z, for the consumers. So this is a really, really, really big company. They have offices in Europe, America, Asia. I mean, these guys are all over the place. This company was founded in the 1800s, bro. So, for them to even, select a company, they're doing something right.
Well, they selected them and now they're selling.
Right. So the reason they're selling is so I don't know the exact names of one of the board members. So one of the board members that sits on the board of Grain Continental, when they took a 17% position, they had 9-point-some million shares, close to 20% position in RIBT, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy that sits on the board on Grain Continental also sits on the board of Rice Brand. Okay, now these guys are so big. This company is small fish for them. Okay, so this guy, he's moving on to a bigger company, and he's going to sit on that board of a bigger company. I don't know who it is. I want everybody to do their own research. But before he can sit on that board of a company, right, they're taking a lot larger position there. He has to sell his position in RIBT. He has to sell Grain Continental's position in RIBT. From my understanding, a board member can only sit on like 4 publicly traded companies or something. It's like an SEC rule or something like that. So that's why they're selling. I want people to understand, if these guys are taking a 70% loss by selling at these prices, over a 70% loss on their total investment of like $25 million or something, dude, like $20 million, depending on what their average is. I haven't figured out their average. It's above $1.50, 100%. And it's, it's below, say it's $2.25. These guys are taking up easily over a $10 million loss. And that doesn't mean anything to them, because this is a multi-billion-dollar company, a multi-billion-dollar fund.
Well, that is a great piece of research you did. In the PR, it says Ari Gendison, and Beth Bronner. I don't know if Beth is also from Continental Grain, but that was on April 28th when they resigned, and you did that legwork there, and you found out that Ari is going to another board and is required to sell all these shares off. I mean, that's a very interesting opportunity, because this is a situation where the market, looking at it superficially, might be scared. Why are we seeing these huge insider sales? But when you find out the reason, it's really kind of innocuous.
So I want you to understand that REG is not selling his own personal position. Grain Continental company is selling their position. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's really good. I think we covered a lot of the sentiment related stuff, which is primarily, I think, the war, which is the tailwind, the sentiment of the shareholder selling, which could be seen as a negative by some people who don't understand it. But now we got the full story. And then you also have the general sentiment of microcaps being dangerous and, they might throw an offering on us. But yeah, you seem to have some confidence on that. Let's dig deeper a little bit into the fundamentals. I have a data here from Y Charts, which shows the revenue over time really exploding. I think they said they have. Tell us about their cash position and what the company said regarding profitability.
Sir, before I go there, I want to say one more thing.
Sure.
Now, there's a lot of retailers that are talking crap because certain people are mentioning it. They're saying pump and dump. I want these guys to use common sense, right? Common sense, okay? If a company's selling shares, right? If a company's selling shares, the price should be going down. This price should be getting wrecked. But for the last 3 weeks, I really like the weekly chart, because this is kind of a swing trade investment kind of play for me. Why is the price going up if there's such a large seller? Someone explain that to me. Why are people, not getting that? Why are they not connecting these dots? Look, this is a hunch, okay? I feel like management, investment relations, whoever, right, boys on the top, they are talking to big money, like investment bankers or some hedge fund or something, to start taking a position in this company while Grain Continental is selling. I mean, heck, Grain Continental, some of these guys in management could be like, hey, we got to get out of this company for whatever reason. Hey, my friends, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you take a position in it? You know what I'm saying? So I need people to understand this ain't retailers, man. You know what I mean? That's my feeling. my little bit of experience, because the price should be getting wrecked. These guys are selling a ton of shares.
Yep.
But the price is going
Right,
back.
right. And then
also,
imagine what happens then when they're finished selling.
Yeah, man, that's when the fireworks start.
Right?
That's when the
Only 3.5 million shares left. I pulled up the chart, and I agree with you. I love the weekly chart. I'm also usually tactically when I trade, it's a swing positions for me. I find the 200. I find the moving averages, the major moving averages on the 200 on the weekly chart to be very accurate. Usually, as a good guide. And I don't know if you can see my chart, but you got the 20, 50 week, and the 200 week moving average all the way at $1.50 right now.
yes, sir. So on the daily, the 50s cross the 200 simple moving average. That's a golden cross, beautiful, right?
Oh wow, I didn't even notice that. Look at that, golden cross. Yep.
Yeah, so that's rare, right? And we're doing this while supposedly, not dilution, but a big seller is selling, which is rare, man. Which is really rare, And on the weekly, we're above the 100 SMA. Like the technicals on this stock are just so perfect. But like this is what it is like I told you earlier, like why I found this stock, because I like what the future trend's going to be, dude. Like if companies a year ago, 2 years ago, if companies that make gloves and face masks that are not profitable, that have dilution in their stock, went up hundreds of percent over time. This company is a legit company. Their revenues are up 22%. If anybody could please just listen to Q1 2022 conference call, it's around 20 to 30 minutes within. The CEO says by the end of the year, they're expecting their EBITDA to be profitable. They're actually expecting this company to make a net profit by the end of the year, where the trend is going.
Yeah.
It's massive stock under $1, look, I'm a trader, man. I flip at times, right? Currently, I'm in the middle of building a home, and I'd rather be a swing trader, And it's like the perfect, dude, I'm not BSing. I expect this stock to go to $5, but before the end of the year.
$5.
Yeah. Without I'm not, I don't know what people are going to think this and that, but from the research I've done, look, here's the deal. So one reason, if you notice, if you look at the news and all this good stuff, this company is not very active right now, right? No one has told me this. This is my hunch. I like to connect dots. And I think the one reason that is because Grain Continental is selling their position, right? Who knows? Well, look, dude, someone else is buying. This ain't retailers, bro. Retailers talk too much shit. They're short-sighted. Someone else is buying, right? Whoever management got into buy or whatever. I think once this transfer completely takes place, I think that's when this company's just going to start pushing. You know what I'm saying? And I think like this stock is consolidating as the price is going higher, which is like the most beautiful thing you want to see. We're getting a little bit of sideways action, and we're closing green. The volume is increasing. That's the real deal. Is that what makes this stock gives it such a strong foundation for me is that the price is going up. So is the volume going up. So if somebody bought it 40 cents, 50 cents, whatever, they doubled their money 75%, whatever, they're taking profits. Beautiful. Let them move on. I'm going to trade this trade dude, I don't even plan on selling a single share below $1 anymore, okay? And as the price goes up, my strategy is to sell little at a time, dude, because this fear of food porn stuff is only going to grow. Okay, companies that made gloves and masks, they went up hundreds of percent, right? Now, imagine food prices start going up like gas is going up. But this company is going to go up even if it wasn't profitable. But this company is profitable. They're going to make net profits supposedly by the end of the year. And I mean, dude, and I don't think this, I don't think this sector is going to cool down anytime soon, So I just, this is I moved 100,000 shares into my long-term capital gains account. Full disclosure, I have over 700,000 shares.
Wow.
My average is around 50 cents. I delayed my IRS taxes for this stock, bro. I'll pay the fine, the extra interest, whatever. That's how much conviction I have.
Well, that is conviction. We see a few comments coming in from YouTube, throwing up on the screen there. So yeah, the $5, by the way, if it regained those EV to revenue ratios it had back in 2019, it can get there, but also their revenues are probably rapidly growing. So I guess there's a path there, especially if they can avoid an offering. So
I don't think we're gonna have an offering issue, bro, because like these are facts. Their revenues are up 22%. That's over $2 million. They're up, and these guys just invested a lot of money in expanding their, their factory or whatever. I don't know the correct terms. So they're already investing money into the company. Their revenues are going up. The sector is hot. Like if you look at this, just another thing I like. Okay, the CFO and the CEO, they don't have a lot of shares. I have more shares than management, right? As far as I read. So that seems like they're going to be really driven in taking the share price higher before they even sell. I'm trying to make an appointment with the CEO and the CFO, and the executive chairman and the CFO, Todd. I'm trying to make an appointment with them so I can give them an experienced trader's perspective, and tell them like, hey, dude, like this is really special, because if insiders start selling, that can decrease people's confidence. So I'm going to try to tell them like, hey, hey, dude, try to wait for the stock to really go all out, and it seems to me like these guys are extremely professional, and I think they have more information than whatever I'm guessing, or I feel like the way the market is going, because they live this, and this is going to be $1 million. This is going to be a million, if not a multi-million-dollar trade for me, sir.
Great, awesome, sounds good. It's 9:28, so just got to wrap it up with some closing comments. We talked about the 4 pillars here: fundamentals. We talked about the sentiment. Oh, catalyst. There is one thing. I don't know if you know of any catalysts besides they are presenting at LD Micro on June 8th, and that's an important conference that could often be a catalyst going into and also out of the event. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that or any other catalysts on your stuff.
I'm not worried about catalysts at all.
Oh.
I think we're going to have multiple catalysts. It's just once Grain Continental is out and these new guys take position, I think that's when they're going to just go all out. I've spoken to investor relations. He didn't tell me something he's not supposed to tell me, but the way he talked, I got a feeling that these guys are very confident and they're not worried. Market makers will try to shake out retailers because I think they're taking a very large position in this company.
All right, great.
One thing, sir, I would like to say to new people that are going to buy it, don't go, look, I can't give you any advice. Don't go all in at one price. Wait for the price to come down, because Grain Continental still got some shares to sell. But no, they're being absorbed, And this is a swing trade. This is not a flip. For me, you do as you wish.
Great. Thank you so much. Sorry for the technical difficulties again. Now, if you guys want to follow, I have it up on the screen. You can follow Rich at RichXMillion. At StoryTrading, you can join us at StoryTrading.com and join our VIP rooms on WhatsApp. We got a tight-knit group of a couple hundred people researching stocks together. And you can also be sure to follow us on YouTube and on StoryTrading. And that's it, guys. Have a great day. Great information, Rich. I hope to have you back. And if you get the CEO, maybe we could do a huge event with company management and really spread awareness of the story here.
Yes, sir. You're super professional. I'd love to be back in the future, and I'll try to make that happen. I'll try to get the CEO or the CFO or investor relations to come live with us.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Have a great trading day. We're out.